The following moments may contain explicit language.
It's alive!
Welcome to where the weird ones are.
Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out.
Powerful figures in Hollywood, as well as powerful politicians who are in fact not human. They're reptiles, or they're lizards, or perhaps extraterrestrials.
I don't think it is a human. I think it's a Sasquatch.
Go ahead and run! Run home and cry to mama!
Let's get weird.
What's up, you fucking weirdos? Welcome to another episode of Where the Weird Ones Are. Today is episode 200. Wow, 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 wow. Also, my name is Kevin, but you probably already knew that, and if you didn't, now you do. So today I have Jen and Mondo from 305 Paranormal coming on to help me celebrate episode 200. They talk about some of their recent investigations. They were on live TV and they caught ghost stuff. And the anchors of the reporters or whoever, the people that were doing the TV show, were very excited. It's a Spanish TV show in Miami. Um, and yeah, it's they're doing amazing things. They're growing as a couple, they're growing as investigators, and they are growing spiritually, and it's a beautiful thing. I love them very much. I consider them both family at this point, so it's nice to see. It's nice to reconnect with them after so long. They I met them early on in the podcast journey, so I'm happy to still have them sticking around. But I will say, shout out to the
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Let's get weird! Let's get weird! Let's get weird! Let's get weird! Weird! Get weird!
Hey, this is Rochelle Stratton, and you are listening to Kevin with Where the Weird Ones Are. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Yo, what's up, everybody? So happy to have you here. This is episode motherfucking 200. I'm so happy, first of all, that you guys continue to listen. And I am extremely happy to have the pleasure and the privilege to introduce you to today's guest, 305 Paranormal, Jen and Mondo. They've become like family to me. I love these guys so much. I've got to do my first paranormal investigation with them ever. So without further ado, for the people that aren't familiar with you guys, if you don't mind giving a run through of who you are, what you do, and places they can find you.
But yeah, so thank you, Kev. This is Mondo, and this is my lovely wife, Jen, and we are 305 Paranormal. We are a husband-wife paranormal investigator duo out of Miami, Florida, thus the 305 and 305 Paranormal. My wife, she's been kind of involved in the paranormal at a very early age in her life.
Yes.
It wasn't until way after even me meeting my wife that I had my very first paranormal experience. But to better kind of acknowledge and tell what she's gone through, it's better that she tells you.
Oh yeah. Just had paranormal experiences growing up since I was about 6 or 7 years old. And throughout my life I felt like every place I went to, like people were following me, or like maybe the place was haunted, but I think it's just me, and maybe spirits kind of see that, so they attract to you. And so now we belong to a South Florida team, War Party Paranormal, and using War Party, we do events, public events at historical places, and with practice with that, it kind of helps us learn more about the paranormal, and different questions we might have questions about, and we ask spirit, like maybe do they see us, can they hear us, stuff about the afterlife that maybe one wouldn't really know if not trying to investigate or ask these questions.
Yeah, we just take the advantage of the opportunity to get to know, because there isn't a manual out there that tells you, hey, spirit can see in color. Like I've asked that a few times. Are they able to see in color? What specific colors like stand out more to them? Is it just like being able to visualize like us being alive type of thing? It's been awesome just to be able to do that and kind of do like our own experiment, just to see like what we're able to come across and what type of information we're coming across. Because in actuality, we're not experts at this. I would consider us. You think experienced is a good word?
No, we're definitely experienced. I don't know. I don't think anybody's an expert.
So
you'll be an expert when you die.
Because that's when you know. That's when you'll know for sure.
I think it's that. It's just we want to become more experienced and more knowledgeable in what it is that we do. So I think it's a good training grounds for us.
For sure. And you guys do a live show on YouTube as well.
Yes, we do.
Yes, every Sunday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we co-host with our friend Joy and Joey. That's a tongue twister I cannot say. JJ Paranormal, and we both stream on both our YouTube pages. So ours is 305, hers is
Joy and Joy
Paranormal Files, because she has to change it like
or Paranormal Adventures.
Paranormal Adventures now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, we interview people, same like Kevin. Different experiences to this week coming on. So I don't know when this will air. That would already had passed, but we're interviewing it's a guy named Timothy Wayne Williams, and he used to be a musician. He used to be a photographer. Now he does paintings, and his paintings, I like them. I don't know how I even ran into him. I ran into him. You know how I ran into him? Actually, through the Confessionals podcast on Facebook. But he always put his paintings on there because he does hidden Bigfoot paintings. And I became
you have to find Bigfoot within the painting.
Yeah.
It's like Where's Mondo, but with
Bigfoot.
That's awesome.
So I've been friends with him for years off of that, and yeah, he's a super nice guy. And I asked him if he would like to come on and stuff, because I don't know if he ever really does podcasts. So that's cool.
Dope. That's awesome. I enjoy your show every time I get the chance to check it out. I like being there live, but life isn't always gonna give you what you want. So sometimes I'm in the middle of doing things and I can't catch it live. So but you guys do an awesome job interviewing your guests. Your chemistry between the two of you, and with Joy and Joey. I know Joey doesn't always show up for every episode, but the chemistry there between all of you guys is fantastic, which makes the show even that much more better and entertaining. And the people that you bring on, the people that watch and converse with you throughout the show makes it fun as well. So I think you guys do an amazing job, and I just wanted to highlight that fact in that.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate
that.
Yeah,
definitely. We appreciate that.
And just to tell you, I kind of got bits and things from actually watching you, because remember, you were one of the first people to have us on the show. we interviewed, I think it was with one other person before you. So it was just kind of like learning, hey, let me take a look at the people that are successful in our kind of like field, but hosting shows. So I actually grabbed some things from you. And that helped me to kind of be able to do what we do. So definitely huge props to you, man. I thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I mean, I think I want to thank you guys for coming on early on the show. I mean, I think you guys were like, I think the first episode you guys were on was like 23. That's almost 3 years ago. You know that?
So long time ago.
Wow, it doesn't even seem like it's been that long.
No, it doesn't. And you know, I think one of my favorite parts about doing this show is the people that I meet. You guys especially. Getting to meet you guys in person was amazing. I never thought that was gonna ever happen. And yeah, so like I had started wanting to do like these not extravagant, but like out of my area vacations with my kids, and Miami has always been a spot that I wanted to go to. And I remember talking to Jen about it, and she's like, just whatever you do, don't stay in South Beach. And I was like, I already booked an Airbnb in South Beach. Yeah. So I remember being down after you, because you were like, oh, there's just like a lot of crime or something. I can't remember exactly what you said. I feel like that's what you said though, something along those lines. So I was like, well, I guess I'll bring my gun. So like literally every time I walked around, I had my gun on my hip, and nobody ever even tried to like talk to me or anything. So I don't know if it was because of the gun or what, but it was I feel like that was a good way to deter people from ever even trying. And I know there's crazy people out there that would have tried anyway. So I'm great. The experience out there was great. I didn't have any negative experiences. The beach was gorgeous. The water was warm. The people were gorgeous. Some of them were pretty rude. There was this one lady. I think she thought she was like the God's gift to the earth or something, but she had this little dog with her, and we were both all four of us. So it was her dog, me, and my kid standing on the corner of the street waiting to cross the street, waiting for the the sign to be like, you can walk. And I'm standing there, and I was like, oh, your dog's really cute. And she fucking, once I said that, her head went up like this, and I was just like, oh, all right, I see how you are. I was like, you just like, I mean, I don't need to have a conversation with you, but acknowledge the fact that your dog is fucking cute. Like, come on now. Like, you don't have to say thank you or anything. Just be like, yeah, she is, or he is, or something. I don't know. Yeah. But not the end of the world. But I got fucking some dope ass glasses. I got a nice tank top. I got a pretty fucking fantastic glow in the dark T-shirt from 305 Paranormal. I fell asleep. I was wearing it the other night, a couple nights ago. And I went to bed, and I'm laying there. Allie, my girlfriend, woke up in the middle of the night, thought I was underneath the blanket playing on my phone. And she's like, what are you? She goes, what are you doing on your phone? And I didn't answer because I was sleeping. And she's like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? And then she like started touching me and realized that it was my shirt glowing underneath the blanket.
It's so good.
Yeah, and I have like a pretty thick comforter too, so the fact that it was glowing through that freaking blanket, it's strong glow, very strong glow.
In case you ever get lost.
Yeah, I've worn it underneath this white sweater too, and you can see the glow from underneath it too.
Yeah. You know what? What if that's like radioactive?
Oh my god, yeah. What if, you know?
It's made with nuclear waste.
So, one of the questions that I really wanted to ask you guys today is, you've been on like a news channel or a TV show or something like that recently. So I wanted to know, what was the experience of that like first of all, being asked, the feelings of being asked to be on the show, and then being on the feelings of being on the show and the process of it and all that.
Oh, that experience was cool. So that you're referring to this past October.
Yep.
Somebody reached out to Joe from War Party,
and
it was, oh my god, what was the name of it?
So
Telemundo?
that channel is Telemundo.
Yes. I want to say it correctly because they get offended.
Yeah, and no, it's Turf Wars. Univision
Really?
and Telemundo.
2 Spanish channels, and boy, they'd be like,
No way.
You were like, hey, yeah, we've been on the other people's things, so
I
we
literally
kind of
said
have
that.
an idea
And they're like,
of
don't
how
say
this works.
And I was like,
And they were like,
sorry.
those of whom we don't speak of.
Yeah, like, he's whose name was I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, so they wanted essentially they wanted a paranormal group that spoke in Spanish because we were gonna be pretty much
It's like a Halloween special.
Yeah, they were filming a Halloween special on their like live news. You know how every channel does like a live news. Let's say it's 5 o'clock, and they talk about weather and all the other stuff. So we were live in studio.
The morning show.
The morning show, right? This was for the Halloween episode. So we were there. We had a phenomenal time. We were getting a lot of evidence, and the funny thing is, they were like, "Hey, I don't know how good is this gonna work or whatever. Is there anything that you guys have that just makes like random noises or makes random lights and stuff?" And I start like, we all start taking out equipment, different pieces of equipment, and I'm taking one thing out, and I'm like, there's stuff here. And Jenny was like, hey, I can feel without even doing any piece of equipment, I can feel stuff here. And it's not like it had anything to do with the electricity from the all the machines that they have for the show and the cameras and things like that. This was like in a completely empty TV studio, and we were going by and we kind of did like a little tour. She already felt it.
Yeah, because that one studio that we had went into, one of the not producers, but like camera people, he was like, "Oh, let me tell you where I feel something," and then he took us over there real quick between like segments, because this morning show ran from like 6 a.m. to 11 or something like that.
Yeah.
So we went into that studio, and and as soon as we walked in, we kind of go to like this one wall, and I was like, "Ooh," like I got like chills, and I was like, "Oh yeah," I was like, "It feels different here than it does where we're taping." And he's like, "This is where he says so they have like a back wall, like a fake wall, and he says he sees like sometimes like somebody like a shadow like go through the back."
Oh,
and
shit.
we went back there, and then everybody felt like, we all felt weird, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That like you get
we
the
were
goosebumps.
able to pinpoint an exact location, like once we passed through that threshold, that it just felt like, whoa, it's really heavy here.
It's heavy.
And then the rest of the day was just amazing. We didn't have to take anything or manipulate anything. The evidence was just coming to us,
and we didn't know what was going to happen anyways. I mean, that was the time we were there, so we're like, shit, I hope it just goes good. And at first, for TV, bells and whistles, that's why I said, like, do you have anything that makes noise and lights up? And we're like, yeah, we have stuff. We'll put it around and see. Just play it out. See if ask if there's any spirit here, or anybody wants to communicate with us. And when we did that, I had put a REM pod out, and I had just placed it down in a random table, but it was during the entrance. There was nothing there like that would set it off. And I was talking throughout when we was going through the studio. I was saying, like, if there's spirit here, follow us, communicate. I have equipment, manipulate it. Like, I was saying that walking through like these locations, and we're going to the middle of the studio stage, and then the REM pod by the door is like beep 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 beep, and I was like, do that again? Like, I don't know if that's it or what's going on. And then from there, like the camera people, the producers, they were just like, oh my God, it's going off, and they started getting hyped, and everything just kind of like snowballed from that.
So it went, Kev, from like the point where they were telling us what to do, and it got to the point where it was we ran the show.
They were like, you do whatever you want.
Just do whatever you guys want to do, whatever equipment you want. And as soon as it starts ramping up, like, we'll switch right back on. And it went from they'll switch right back on to we were live on TV for like 5-10 minutes straight without them like switching.
Yeah.
And what was awesome was we were, and I'm not to mention any names or anything like that, but essentially we were able to get a hold of a spirit that had passed in a really bad car accident right behind not behind, in front of the studios for Telemundo.
Oh,
Is
shit.
it's a
Turnpike.
really big highway called the Florida Turnpike.
Yeah.
So yeah, it appears that the story went, someone was drinking and driving, lost control because it was raining, ended up into like a ditch where somehow like the car caught on fire, and they either passed in the fire or because they drowned, one or the other. And yeah, we just got that story. It was developing naturally on live TV.
Yeah.
And just, you can see the cameramen and like all the people that were there, even the actual like TV host, all with their mouths like dropped. They couldn't believe what was going on and how it was unfolding.
But let's fast forward to when we left, we were actually on the way to Orlando because we were doing Gilchrist.
Yeah,
our friend
we were going to
jail.
Paracon in Gilchrist County.
So about 30 minutes after we left, they called Joe back, and then Joe called us right back. He was like, "Hey, they want us on like next Friday again." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "I'm gonna have to like call out of work or something." I don't know, But that didn't happen. I went to work. So
was totally not sick that next Friday.
I didn't have diarrhea or anything. So I go. So we're like, "For real?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then when we had went back, this is what we had the people crying on the reporters crying because we ended up talking to, now that we had went back, it was a cameraman that died.
Oh,
and
shit.
we worked with them.
Yeah.
And we got his name, like we ended up using the XLS. And it's funny because that was the first time I ever seen something like that. But there was a stick figure or like a thing on the XLS, and it was on that guy's first name.
The initial,
his
the
initial.
First name. So it starts with
Whoa.
an A.
Yeah.
They had like these kind of like a background prop where it was like words,
Mm-hmm.
but the specific stick figure, it kept crawling.
And it was like hanging on the A.
But it would only stay on the A. Yeah. Oh, and what made that day cool, so we were there for Halloween, and the following Friday was Day of the Dead, or Dia de los Muertos is what it's called in Spanish.
Yeah,
that's what they wanted us on. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we ended up coming across another spirit, and it was the former cameraman. We had everybody in tears because we were able to prove that it was him. He said it was his name.
Remember his
what
friend,
he did,
the studio guy that came, dude, and until that guy came, and he was like thinking, he kind of like connected the dots. He's like, wait, I think this guy, and then he was telling the other people that worked there, and they were all like, no, like hell no, this is not happening. And then it was happening.
We were getting
super cool.
on the spirit box. He was saying his name. He said what he did,
where he was from,
where he was born. Mm-hmm. He said he was saying hi to the people that he used to work with, and it was his tone of voice. Obviously, we wouldn't know that because we never spoke with him, but they were like, that's the way he talks, like literally how you would hear his voice.
Uh-huh.
It was all coming out in the spirit box.
Wow.
And again, the same thing happened. It was just like we had them like, hey, no, like whatever you want us to do, we need to stick to this because this is a short window that we have to communicate with him, and once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
So we gotta just stick.
You can't tell the spirit to like hold.
Hey, wait, because they're gonna
commercial break,
commercial and all that BS. No, man, you gotta. When it's like that, you gotta go.
Yeah, they're rolling.
Wow.
So they were all in tears. They were super happy with it.
Yeah.
As we were about to leave, they wanted us to film like a little video for what they were going to play in the afternoon show. Yeah. So that one opportunity to be on one show turned into 3.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's absolutely amazing. I saw you guys posting about it, and I was super happy for you. First of all, I mean, I know you guys did the other channel and stuff like that previously, but like, I don't know, I love seeing my friends succeed and do things that are amazing that not a lot of normal people get to do. So I was ecstatic. I was like, this is awesome. This is awesome. I originally, like, when I saw that, I was like, I got to have them on to talk about that. And I was like, you know what? I'll just have them on for 200 to celebrate episode 200. Yay!
Okay, and congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
Major milestone.
Super.
And it wasn't one that I was shocked to hear that you were gonna make. I mean, even from the very first episode that we were on, and we're like, bro, this guy's on his shit, and we had an amazing time
working
with
hard,
you guys, man. Yeah. And I'm so proud of you too. Like, to see like where you've come. You had your pretty much, you're building a production company for like other shows. You have your Weird Java in the morning. You have these lovely guys right here.
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested in some really good hot sauce, there's a host in this television show on YouTube that you can go and try these phenomenal hot sauces. The blueberry one, we have the lemon one, and we have the apple one as well.
I gotta crack them open. I don't know what I want to use them on yet.
Try these hot sauces out. He's also selling some coffee too, some merch. There's
Joy loves this one.
Yes, she does. She's ordered she's ordered so much of it.
I gotta run through those.
Yeah. She's like, is there any way that I can order the lemon one as a 4-pack? And I was like, I could actually make, like, I don't know why I never thought of that, because like I can fit 4 bottles comfortably in a box. I might be able to push it to like 5 or 6, but I didn't want to, just in case. Like, I don't want to overpack it with bottles and them end up crushing inside, like clanging off of each other or whatever and breaking. So, but yeah, I made the 4 bottles of the same kind, being able to purchase. That way you're not spending a ton of money by buying 4 singles, so, and that was because of Joy, because Joy wanted it. So oh man, she made a video. I think it was her son and one of his friends, 2 of them. I don't think it was her son, but either way, of these 2 guys trying the hot sauce too, and that was fun to watch. It's when I first started making the hot sauce, I didn't really think it was gonna go anywhere. I was just like, oh, we'll just throw it out there and see what happens. And it's clung on. My son sells a bunch of it when we go to conventions. Like, if I want to go out and check out speakers and stuff, he'll stay at the table and he sells them. I got the chance to speak at 2 different events. So my son also helped me sell the hot sauce at those events as well. And then we're headed to Tennessee in July for an event, but we're not going to be vending or anything. We're just going down there to have some fun. So I think both the kids are going to come with me for that. But yeah, either way, like, so I have an idea for another flavor, and I want to do it with pineapples and ghost peppers.
Ooh.
Pineapples? Well, pineapple or like mango pineapple?
Well,
pineapple.
That's the one I was telling Kevin.
Yeah, he want
a mango habanero one.
Oh yeah,
mango habanero. Yeah.
But hey, pineapple and ghost pepper, that doesn't sound bad.
Sounds spicy.
Yeah.
It sounds like juicy, sweet, and then, oh my god, I'm dying.
I like hot and sweet.
Yeah, me too. I like hot sauce, but I also want it to have some kind of flavor, some kind of sustenance that hits you, and then right before that spice kind of like kicks in, and you're like,
yeah, at least some type of sweet thing or some type of flavor before the kick comes in, if you will.
Absolutely. And I think I kind of captured that with the blueberry and the apple one.
Yeah.
I know the blueberry doesn't have as much of a kick as the other ones, but flavor wise, A1. I love that.
Shit, and the apple one, they said it's spicy.
No, but I'm saying the blueberry, for I know
It's
it's
less.
not
It's
the
like it's
the
the
spiciest, but
right,
I
right,
love the
right.
flavor, the blueberry flavor. I think he captured it amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. And we use real Maine blueberries, everybody. Real Maine blueberries from the field.
There you
Nice.
Same with the apples. We get the apples from the orchards around town. So, which I actually got to go. Hopefully, I still have some apples actually, so I should be able to make some more. The sponsor of the show is Flavors of the Forest. I don't know if I've talked to you guys about the sponsor. They got
No.
it's garlic powder. I don't know how well you can see that in the camera,
Yeah.
but it's raw. They call it raw garlic dust. So they freeze dry the garlic and then they create this powder, and it is the most flavorful garlic powder I have ever had, bro.
I'm
Like,
gonna have to.
yeah, so that you can get it at flavorsforest.com, but they started sponsoring, and he had me send him some hot sauce, and apparently, so he's a chef and he has a restaurant and stuff, and they want to carry my hot sauce in their restaurant.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Awesome.
So it's been almost a year now, and I've been meaning to send them this big bulk package of hot sauce, and I just don't know how to do it, because like I'll start building up my I don't know what's the word, my stock. I'll be building up my stock, and then a bunch of orders will come in, and then they'll all go out, and I'll be like, I can't send enough to them now, so I gotta try and get ahead of the game, or either that I'll be out of bottles, you know what I mean, and then I have to wait for more bottles to come in.
Damn.
So that's been my struggle right now,
That's a good one.
as a getting started. So
Why don't you get like a different bottle for them as a restaurant, like, or maybe like
something that I can be more prepared for to have, or something like that, or like a bigger bottle. Well, I don't know, because I think they're gonna try and sell them out of the restaurant too.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's what I think is one of the things. They also want to, because what they did when he bought the 4-pack of all 4 flavors, and then he ran a pizza special, and he put that apple hot sauce on it, with peaches and something else. I can't remember exactly, but first of all, it was peaches and goat cheese. That's what it was. It was a pizza and goat cheese pizza with that hot sauce, the apple hot sauce on it. And apparently, everybody in there tried it, and everybody wanted to buy some. So,
big, awesome.
Damn,
so
that's
hopefully,
I mean, what a combination.
For real.
This is a chef. For real.
I mean, yeah, that's how you know it's a chef.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it made me want to try a fucking. I like, because I don't think fruit belongs on peaches. I mean, on pizza.
Except for pineapple.
No, I hate pineapple on pizza.
No,
Absolutely.
I love it.
I can't. I mean, maybe if I tried it now, where my taste buds are different now, but when I was a kid, man, my dad would get Hawaiian pizza. It was ham and pineapple, and
Yummy.
I tried it once, and I was like, ah, and I threw it across the room. And I was like, don't do that to me ever again. And every time he got pizza, he got that pizza. And I'm like, no, I don't want this. What are you doing to me?
So did you get your own pizza, or like
Yeah, he specifically would order me sausage pizza when I was a kid, because I was in love with sausages. And I said sausage weird, so he thought it was funny. So he would always make me order the sausage pizza. And I can't to now I can't remember exactly how I said it, but I just remember saying it funny, and people would make me say sausage just so they could laugh at me.
That's funny, because our little one, she says ice. She goes ice. She goes, "Mommy, you want ice?" And I'm like, "Yes, I want ice." Or
she adds a K.
Yeah, I don't want
adds a K to ice.
And then the other thing that she says weird. She's so cute though, but she's 7, and I'll never. She can say that shit until she's 24. I don't care. Like, I'm like, hey, you're so cute. You're my baby. She says yellow also wrong. She says yayo.
Yayo.
Oh,
not yayo. Yeah. See, now you're saying it like you. Yayo.
Yeah, that's my daughter. My eldest daughter. Well, obviously, my youngest daughter can't speak yet, but Kendall, she used to say pancakes for pancakes and syrup for syrup.
Oh my god. I love it.
So and then my son would say water for water.
Oh my water. Yeah, I can see that.
So man, I miss my older kids being little for
Yeah.
sure. My son actually just went for his he failed his driver's test, but he passed the knowledge part, but the actual driving he failed because he didn't look in his mirrors enough. And I was like, when they failed him for that, I was like, I feel like that's something that you should like, I don't know, like pass him, but when you're done, be like, all right, listen, I'm gonna give you your license, but just so you know, you should look in your mirrors more than you did, like something like that. But they probably just wanted some more money, so we got to pay again for him to go a second time. But at least he knows what to do now. He has a car. I got him a car and everything, so he should be good on that front. But it's really fucking weird. It's really weird to have a kid that can drive.
Do they do driver's ed up there in school for you guys? And they do.
Yeah.
So I heard they took it out. I don't know when they did it. It might have been
it's not in school, but it's like separately, but they'll go to the school to get the kids to after school, like, you know what I mean, for like driving and stuff like that.
Okay. Because it used to be like an actual elective we can pick when we were in high school.
Yeah.
Really?
That was funny.
I didn't have that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have it as an elective.
Yeah, which was cool because you're doing that on school time.
Yeah, it was like hanging out.
Yeah,
and they would get you afterwards. They would get you like kind of like a voucher type of thing that you go to the DMV.
Yep. All I did was take my paper and I'm like, here you go.
Yeah.
All right, take your picture.
And you're done.
That's how I got my shit.
Whoa, dude, what the hell?
Yeah, you don't have to
I wish I had that.
With people from the DMV except to just get your license and stuff. But you
Dang.
didn't have to like, be with one of them to take your test.
You want to hear a funny story? So when I
love funny stories.
This one's good. So the 1 year that I decided not to go, I went to summer school all my life because my dad was like, "You're going to school. You're not staying here at home." And then I was like, "All right." So 1 year, damn, this might have been going into 12th grade. I was like, I'm gonna stay this year. I'm not doing shit, whatever. I got bored. I ended up signing myself up to school to go to summer school, and they're like, all right. I didn't know if anything was packed. I was like, what can I pick? They're like, oh, you can pick driver's ed or whatever. I was like, yes, let me get driver's ed. And then I got that and like dance. It was just like BS. And then when I went to driver's ed, it was 2 teachers. So there were the guys who did driver's ed were actually 2 PE coaches also at the same time. So they did PE and driver's ed.
Nice.
And they had the room split up in 2. So like one side was, I don't know, let's call one Kevin's classroom, and across was Armando's classroom. I can't remember what the hell happened. They were like bumping heads for like a couple of days, and it was like towards like the end of the week we were watching a film, and they like started fighting, like legit fighting.
Oh shit!
Like, tackling each other, and she went into like the hallway and all this crazy shit. And they're huge. They're like big ass guys because they're PE coaches. And one of them was a football coach. So I don't know what the hell happened. Everybody in that class got a voucher. I don't give a shit if you didn't do anything. Everybody, here you go. You can go get your license. I don't know. I think it was like they felt like bad. And I was like, I don't know if this is good or not, but I got my shit. I did not test. I didn't test it.
The literal the phrase, "Hey, you got your license out of a Cracker Jack box."
Yeah, exactly.
Thankfully, I always knew how to drive. I can tell you, like,
oh yeah, she's a good driver.
I am a good driver.
It's true story.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh man. I remember one time when I was doing driving school, because they have the brake on there on the passenger side. There was a stop sign and I was coming to it and I hadn't fully pressed on the brake, but I was like had my foot over the brake, but I wasn't stopping fast enough for this guy. So he fucking just slammed on the brake, and I fucking almost smashed my face in the steering wheel. And I go, what the fuck? And he goes, there's a stop sign. And I was like, I know. If you gave me a second, I would have pressed the fucking brake.
Yeah.
Jeez. I was like, you almost broke my nose, bro.
He was one of those that he probably likes to ease into the thing like 50 yards away.
Well, yeah, before, exactly.
Yeah. And he would start, like, if I didn't drop down to the speed every time I drove with him, if the speed limit's 50 and then it dropped down to 35, if I didn't drop down if I wasn't at 35 before we hit that speed limit sign, he would start hitting, like, pumping the brake. And I'm like, dude, what is your problem? You need to fucking chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
I hated driving with that one dude. The other guy was fine. The other guy was my football coach. So,
see, I guess that's the thing. Football coaches and drivers.
I think so, honestly, because once you said that, I was like, man, there's some similarities here in this story.
Yeah.
But one of another question that I had for you guys pertaining to your show was what was it that made you, first of all, what was it that made you want to start it? Because I know when you guys, I don't think you mentioned like aspiring to have a show before when you guys had been on a couple times that you had. So I was just curious if this was something that was always a thought in the back of your minds, or if it was new to the time and that's what led you to starting it.
So before we lived in this house, we moved here in 2019.
Yeah.
Back when we lived in our previous house, right before this one, I remember Armando always told me, he goes, you should do podcasts. I don't know what it was. I don't know why you even told me that. I don't know what it was I would have been about, but I remember he mentioned that.
Because when you really focus on learning something, like she's going to go all out. So at that point, she's super knowledgeable about what it is that she's talking, and she's confident in what she's saying. At that point, you pretty much trust her because she knows what she's saying, and she sounds like she knows what she's saying. So why would we want to do a podcast?
Yeah.
And the more times that we were on as guests, people have told us, "Hey, we really enjoyed you as a guest, and you guys work great together. It's what it sounds like, and I saw your videos. You guys should be doing this. Like, people would listen to you." And we kept hearing that a lot. And Jenny was like,
"It was all a lie." No, but back then, when we lived in another house, you know what I told him? I thought podcasting was. Can you imagine this? This is before 2019. Like, I'm talking about like 16, 18. 2016, 18. I thought it was saturated back then. Can you imagine that?
Oh my goodness!
Now, when we started it now,
once 2020 hit, everybody was like, "Let's do podcasts."
In my head, I was like, "I should have done this shit," and I was like, "Ah, whatever, no big deal."
Yeah.
But I felt at this point, like in the past like 2 years, I wanted to do something else. I really did want to do something else, and I enjoy talking to people and meeting people, and that's just like you. Like, I love like having a connection and still maintaining friendships and like just talking to people and hearing other people's experiences. And I kind of like, I always look to see if people have the same things that I do, and I I think it's cool just listening to other people and what they experience and how everybody can learn off of each other and just shoot the shit. Really, it's like hanging out on top of that. So I was like, fuck it, we're gonna do it.
and that's what I like too, because again, it's going back to, I feel like I'm a better investigator now, a year and a half into our show, because we're hearing the different perspectives of people that, like you were saying, like how they do their thing. And maybe I didn't see it through their eyes of why it works the way how they do it. And it kind of like, hey, it's something to consider. But also like hearing people that we've had on in the past, hey, yeah, I investigated a castle before. Who's not going to want to hear about a paranormal experience in a castle? Like, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
We had Shanklin on, we had him recently, and he's investigated in like a cave system. Like, dude, that's awesome, man. We don't have caves here in South Florida. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm living through like their experiences, you know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know, I will say that you guys inspired me to start investigating myself. So I want to thank you for that. The experience you guys brought me along with you when I was down there left a mark on me for sure. And I'm extremely grateful to have had that opportunity, and I'm extremely happy that it was with you guys.
Yes, me too. Yes.
Bro,
But I love that you were like, I'll do whatever.
That's exactly what I love too, because there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, I want to investigate with you guys, but then they're just there like
in the background.
They're just like not wanting to do nothing. Kevin, on the other hand, he's like, what, Estes? I don't know what that is, but throw me on there. I'll do it.
Do it. Yeah. You gotta try everything, you know?
I think the hardest part doing the Estes is like, because you hear words and then you don't say it fast enough and then you hear more words. So when I was done with that session, Jenny and I went over to the next house, and I was like, you know, I heard Paul get said, but I didn't say it fast enough, so I didn't mention it. And she was like, Paul, really? And I go, yeah. And she goes, that's the entity in this house. And I was like, shut the fuck up. And she's like, no, I'm serious. And then we were in there, and they had been getting I can't remember the two guys' names, but they were in there with two kids who were just starting out. Yeah. And I guess they were getting some like negative remarks that night.
Yeah, that's the one that's in that house is the negative.
Paul's the negative one. I think that's what you said when I brought him up.
Yeah.
So for the viewers out there, what an Estes session is. So what an Estes session is, essentially, we're using Kevin, for lack of a better words, as a paranormal piece of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work? Okay. So we have him with a spirit box, or SB7 is what it's called, but a spirit box. And what that does is it sweeps through radio station, and as it's sweeping, depending on the rate, creates white noise, so that way spirit can be able to communicate. So what Kevin is saying he was having a hard time is because someone doing it for the very first time, it's kind of hard to be able to like hone in and say what it is that's coming out, because it's a lot of things at once. Keep in mind, he has headphones on, so he can't hear us, and he has blindfolds on, so he can't see what we're saying.
Yeah, not reading lips or anything, you know what I'm saying?
Why I say we use him as a paranormal piece of equipment when the person is doing an Estes session is because we're asking questions to Spirit, and Spirit is giving us a response essentially through Kevin. So it was just a phenomenal thing with the whole experience. We actually, I told Spirit, hey, we're filming this so that way Kevin can see it. If you can, just to let him know that you're there, touch him on his shoulder. So then you see him on video, and Kevin goes and he touches his shoulder.
Right? Didn't touch your knee or your shoulder?
It was my shoulder.
What, your shoulder? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was just a really good experience. Kevin is like, oh, I don't know. I was just saying like a lot of random things. It didn't make sense to me. And like I was telling him, it may not make sense to you, but it makes sense to us because we're asking the questions. And he's just getting those responses. So the best thing to do when you're ever in that, for the viewers out there, say whatever you hear.
Anything and everything.
If you feel like something touching you, say it, because it might be that, like I told Spirit to touch Kevin in the shoulder. If you smell anything, if you visualize anything that you experience, is best to just say it. Yeah. Because it may have something in correlation to the outside people that are asking Spirit.
And even like it didn't make sense to you at the time, right? I, who have done Estes sessions like 1,000 times, after every one, I was like, nothing. Even still, to me, to this day, and like doesn't seem like nothing made sense. Like we were back at Gold Coast like a week ago, and I was doing an Estes session. No, I was doing a Delco with that one, and I was like, did anything make sense? And he was like, yeah. And it always sounds like it doesn't make sense, but like you get your stuff. You know, it's good.
Yeah.
It was funny because she's like, the only thing I remember saying is French fries. And I literally was like, what's your favorite thing to eat? And she says French fries.
Yeah, I don't
so
know.
It's
that.
like, she doesn't know that.
Yeah.
And it's like completely random to her, but it was in correlation with.
Exactly. You won't know until after you're out of everything, you know?
Yeah. It's I can't remember now. I would have to watch the video again about like everything that was said. I remember saying daddy, and then Joe showed up.
Yes.
I think that was like the most profound one, just because Margaret, I think, was the spirit's name, that is very into Joe.
Yes.
And then the fact that I was saying I didn't know this person was even there. Because I didn't meet him yet. Was it Ignacio or
Ernesto?
Ernesto. He was and he was next door.
He was in that house when I took you.
And the spirit box. I think spirit box told me his name 3 different times.
Yeah.
And like watching the video, it was literally like less than a minute after Mondo said touch me on the shoulder, and I was like, oh, my shoulder. And then it felt like they were squeezing on just somebody was standing behind me, just like gripping onto my shoulder. And like, I don't think they were trying to hurt me. I just think they were just trying to let me know they were there, and they didn't understand the level of pressure. So
yeah.
And that's the cool thing. So you hadn't met Ernesto at this particular point in time, because
that's crazy, right?
When we do events, we kind of like divvy up the team members, so that way there's enough team members per guest ratio.
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin hadn't met Ernesto yet, and he was hearing Ernesto's name, and it just so happened at the next house over, Ernesto and JP, they were getting like insane experiences.
Yeah, and then in the same house where Ernesto was at, that's where Paul resides, and you had gotten also Paul. So
it's kind of like, my interpretation is Ernesto is going through something right now.
Yeah. That's funny. I did do a second spirit box Estes session in the Conjuring House. Have I told you guys about that?
No, I think you went, but I don't remember you telling us.
No, yeah, we never heard your experiences after. You did tell us you were going.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, first of all, the house is creepy, obviously. I felt really heavy, like this like weird energy in the library, which I guess was where most of the activity happens anyway. So like as I'm standing there, I'm standing in the doorway of the library listening to this lady talk, and I'm looking into the library, and I was like, I feel weird about this room. And then she goes, like literally as I'm thinking I feel weird about this room, she goes, and the library here is where we get most of the activity. I goes, oh, that fucking explains it.
Yeah.
And then the room that we were standing in that she was talking to us in was the seance room. They used to do seances in that room. And then I ended up being outside, because apparently a lot of people that have activities, a lot of people that are there and they're using like either Spirit Box or something like Ghost Tube or Spirit Talker or something like that. They get there's a monster in the woods. Like spirits keep telling them that there's something out in the woods. So I went outside and I sat on the edge of the woods in the yard, and I ended up hearing something really heavy like walk around the wood line around me. And it totally could have been a deer, totally could have been an animal, a regular animal, but the way that it sounded was just, and the timing of it, you know what I mean, was really weird. And then I think the most intriguing part of it, because we didn't really get much of anything, we mostly got feelings, you know. So I did do an Estes in the basement. So I'm down in the basement. Again, I'm blindfolded, have the headphones on, can't tell what's being asked and whatnot, so it didn't make any sense to me. And I hear so I said native, and the guy my buddy Scott asks, what do you mean? Are you Native American? And I said, yes. And then, was this your property? And then, or did this land belong to you? And then I said, stolen. And then I got like this like wicked, ice cold chill right after that, and I had to stop because I like all of a sudden it just felt like I was dropped into like an ice bath, and I just got like this shock, and I was like, oh, I'm really cold out of nowhere, and I got up and I was like, I threw the headphones off and everything, took the blindfold off. I'm like, I'm getting out of here. I'm going upstairs because it was like 100 degrees in that house that night because we went in on July 18th last year, and it was 98 degrees outside that entire day. And then I think that night it had dropped down to maybe 88. So it was sweltering, and the basement was it was cooler, so it was more tolerable to be in the basement to begin with. But to feel that cold to where I was shivering was fucking weird.
So that's when Gilchrist, if you remember the story of him like getting taken over,
changing, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly. He was that cold, like he was shivering. That's exactly. So you felt exactly what happened to him. Which, until you experience something like that, you would never. You'd be like, yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You would never think that that's possible, especially when it's something so hot. Yeah,
yeah. So, the next thing that I want to do is there's a old graveyard that's like 2 blocks away from me, and I had some strange experiences when I was in high school out there, and I want to go out there and do an investigation of the cemetery and do like an Estes out there. And there used to be, I think in the 80s or early 90s, there was a cult in this town, and they would do weird shit in the sand pit that's behind the cemetery. And actually, one of the experiences that I had in that cemetery were real people when I was there, and they came out from behind graves with like their faces were painted white with like, and they made their eyes dark circles, so they looked like ghosts when they came popping out, and they scared the fuck out of me. And I was like, at first I thought they were fucking ghosts, and then I realized they were real people. And there's like this little bridge that goes over a little river, so like there's flowing water through the center of the cemetery, which water is a conduit for spirits. They get energy. But anyways, this guy comes crawling like a fucking spider up the side of the bridge, and he's like, get out of my cemetery. And I was like, what is wrong with this guy? And he looked like one of the ICP guys. Like he wasn't face painted or anything, but he looked like somebody that would attend one of those concerts. That's what he looked like. So it was weird. And so that was like 2006, so almost 20 years ago.
What cult was there like that you mentioned?
It was just like they did like these weird things. They didn't do anything like wrong or anything, and they didn't have like a name that I know of. But they were always out there. That's all I know.
Man. No, because I was thinking, I mean, I know you're in Maine.
Yeah.
Let me look it up. But while we were talking, like say like one of the things that's in like the Warren Museum.
Yep.
And that's in Connecticut. Apparently they had like a lot of like cult stuff or
all of New England. There was a few groups.
I didn't know that. I didn't
all
know
through New England. Really. Yeah.
And when they found that like this ritual statue that was out there in the middle of the woods, like it's so odd because I don't expect that. I kind of expect that more maybe here with like the different type of like cultures and stuff, but
like the voodoo and the Santeria stuff that's down there. Yeah.
Yeah, and to see something like that up there, like I'm like, damn, that's kind of odd. But when I saw the story for at least for that statue, like I think of you like in your area and stuff like that. It's more remote, but you wouldn't think that something is out there like that. But apparently there's like a lot of that going on.
Yeah. It's the a weird thing too is that they so they in I think it was like 98, 97. I was living at my grandparents, and everybody was finding these like little Ziploc bags with they had rocks in them, and then they had little like pamphlets inside for the KKK.
Oh.
So they were driving around throwing these bags out trying to get members. And they're associating it with the cult that was in town, I guess.
Mhm.
That they weren't technically the KKK, but they wanted people who were hateful to join them,
Yeah.
which is freaking weird. They also around the same time they were also finding the same kind of bags with rocks in them and then drugs inside of them, like in at the beginning of people's driveways. So people were driving around just throwing them as far as they could throw them out their window.
You got the two types of rocks and like crack rock.
Rocks and crack rocks.
There you go.
Yo, you got that rock? Yeah, I got that rock. What kind of pebble you want?
rock.
Folks.
Oh man. What what do you guys have planned next for your investigations?
I feel like we have something. Oh, okay. So we did a secret location. We can't say where. Filming with Black Smoke.
These good folks.
Amazing people. Amazing people.
And we're gonna do a follow-up recording. We're supposed to next month. So I'm excited for that because it's a place that they didn't like people going there. Like people got shut down for trying to even investigate this place, and it's very old. It's old for here, for Florida. But man, Steve did his thing, and we've met the people when we first went out there, and super nice. And the place is really cool. I was picking up. It's weird because it's along the Gulf. Would that be like the Gulf? I don't know. It's like there's water behind it.
Technically, yes. Yeah.
And it does come from the Gulf. Yeah, it actually is the Gulf. What the hell am I talking about?
The Gulf of America?
The Gulf of America. So America. and I was picking up back in that one area in the back, like she said the lady said there was something there, and I was like, I feel like it's two Native men. And then something else different, like in a other place of that building.
Oh wow.
There's an older lady that used to live there, and I feel like she was there in her little bedroom corner, but nothing bad with her.
Yeah.
And the dude who used to run the place, he was definitely there. I don't think he was too thrilled that we were there.
Right.
It's funny because Mela, when we first went to go film there, she felt like somebody slapped her ass. And I was like, I think it's that dude. I was like,
that's one way of showing your
appreciation
and fondness and / appreciation of us being there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's funny because she was like, I don't know. She was like, "What the hell?" But she was like, "You're not scaring me. Like this is not gonna get me out of here." You know what I'm saying?
Really? She didn't get scared usually because the last time I talked to them, they were talking about how she fucking runs all the time.
No, she runs all the time.
That's where the alias Moped Mela comes from.
But on top of that, like, we were all together. But if she was alone, you would have seen the smoke trail right behind her ass.
Yo, but yeah, I love that about
she's hilarious.
her. She cracks me up, dude.
She's hilarious. She just had a birthday too a couple weeks ago, didn't she? Was it her or was it Steven's?
No, I hope it wasn't. Her birthday's in October.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Steven is.
Or maybe it was their kids.
Oh,
one of their kids, maybe. I remember seeing it. It might have been like a month or two ago now, but I remember seeing it.
I kind of want to
something.
Say yeah.
Maybe.
Her oldest.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's her oldest, she's spitting image, so that's probably why I thought it was Mela.
No. Yeah. Super nice.
We got some excellent evidence that night But unfortunately, we had to kind of like cut it a little early. That's when the last hurricane that hit us last year was like about to hit.
Yeah.
So that's why we're gonna do a revisit. And yeah, folks, stay tuned to Black Smoke Paranormal on YouTube. That's where the investigation will come out once it's done.
Yeah, that's good. We're trying to see what we do for the summer. We were going to go to Gettysburg Bash, but I kind of X'd that. I don't know. There's a few things that I kind of either wanted to go to, like we maybe possibly go to Savannah in August. I don't know. We got to see. Money's tight.
Money's tight.
Money's tight.
Your friends here at 305 Paranormal, they just replaced their roof.
Oh, yeah.
Remodeled the kitchen
and all the bathrooms.
Remodeled 3 bathrooms.
Damn, son.
When we tell you money's tight, yeah, money's tight.
I feel you on that. We're getting prepared to remodel our bathroom in order to but we plan on selling the house at the end of the year. And buying something bigger. So yeah, so trying to make the bathroom look more updated and stuff like that. So I hear you. I mean, I just bought tires for my truck, which was ridiculous expensive because one of them popped. Somebody threw razor blades out their window while I was behind them, and I got like 5 different razor blades in one tire, and I was so pissed off because they're 20s. They're 35 thickness with the thickness of them, but they're 20s size. They're 20 rims, and so they're not cheap. They're not cheap, and I was gonna put the spare tire on, but I didn't think of it at the time to because they're not stock tires. So the stock tires are like 17s. So like the truck would have been sitting like this. I was like, well, now I can't do that either. So we had right, yeah.
Back full circle, guys.
Full circle.
Why is that a normal thing for the person to like throw out razors, or that was just like
I don't know. Like, so I didn't actually see him throw razors, but there was several different razors not different. They were all the same kind of razor, but there was like at least 4 or 5 in my tire. And I remember seeing something bouncing off the street that morning before, like probably 5 minutes before my dashboard was like, "Hey man, you're losing air in your tire."
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the brightness of it, and I thought cigarette just because I saw something shine real quick, and I was like, "Ew, cigarette." And I was behind this car, and once I realized that they were razor blades, I was like, this dude he probably thought I was too close to him because he slowed down significantly at one point and then sped up and then slowed down. And I'm like, what is this fucking guy doing? And I ended up being fairly close to him, but I didn't think I was that close to piss somebody off, but maybe I did. And he threw the razor blades out in the hopes to pop my tires. And he succeeded. Wow. Son of a gun. And he had Massachusetts plates, so I'll probably never see him again.
Damn.
Karma. He's gonna get what is coming to him.
That's true. Yeah.
Well,
one day down the line he'll have diarrhea.
One can wish and hope.
Or maybe he may say O'Doyle rules as he's driving off
the cliff. That'd be great. Oh man. So with all the things you guys are doing, your investigations, your show, your home life, updating everything in your home and all that, are you guys finding fulfillment with everything?
Yeah, I would like to think so. The podcast, I think, has added like a new, we look forward to doing it every Sunday. So
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it. And of course, the kids, you never know with the kids, it's always something new. And every time we do get a chance to go and investigate, we haven't investigated in a while until like 2 weeks ago that we went to Gold Coast, and it's, you're like, oh man, I miss coming over here and talking to said spirit that's known to be there. But I kind of did like a little EVP video. I was gonna throw it out today. Yeah, I probably still will. But we now speak to Mammy Eisenhower, which is Eisenhower's
Our first lady, dude.
Yeah, we talked to her like twice now, and I think she likes us. So
Nice.
So when we went back now, we had a little encounter with her. So that's a little, I don't know, it's like a 2-minute video. I find myself doing like little shorter videos because I have time to edit that because I'm the editor of the shit. So it's hard when I get it like long form. I already am like, I don't want to do it, you know. But with those little things like that, like it's so neat just to get like some type of like weird ass evidence, and you know, I enjoy doing that. I really do. I enjoy editing as long as I can do it.
As far as for me, fulfillment wise, and I don't mean to sound corny, but this woman right here, she inspires me. She's just a lot of the things that she does, and now she's tuned into more of her abilities.
Yeah, I've been working on that.
And in turn, I kind of started figuring out, hey, there's more to me than just this guy that uses his digital recorder all the time, you know, like there's more to me than just that. Maybe I do have these type of abilities as well.
Everybody
and then it's coming to find that out. Yeah. Everybody has
absolutely.
It's dormant. It hasn't been used. It's kind of like you two are the workout buffs here. It's a muscle that you haven't worked out in ever. And when you start using it and it starts to build its definition and things like that, same type of deal. So I'm coming to find out that, yeah, I have these abilities I never knew I had. And thanks to her, I feel like there's more to 305 Paranormal than when we were first starting off, you know? We're doing other things. We're getting more type of experiences, if you will. So yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how we continue to develop as investigators. How Spooked Coast to Coast. I'm excited to see how that continues.
It's fun.
I'm excited for all the friendships that we have started up, especially with our dear friend Kev here. You know, I'm excited, just like how you were happy to see where we were going, and I'm happy to see where you're going. Our boy David here, down the rabbit hole. Just everybody that's welcomed us.
Yeah, I love you guys. You guys you support, and
Amanda, and forget Amanda. Yeah. Everybody has been friends with us and has supported us. We reciprocate that, and we're proud of all you guys too.
No. I love you guys. You guys are dope as fuck. I love catching you on YouTube, whether it's your investigations, whether it's coast to coast, spooked out coast to coast. Seeing you guys on Instagram, your stuff. And I know we haven't talked consistently, but I just want you guys to know that I'm always thinking about you and I'm always hoping for the best for you guys.
Thank you. Likewise.
What I've learned, I used to get pissed off about that when I was younger, but as I've become an adult, still becoming an adult sometimes is like, you know, like true friends and things like that. It's not that they need to talk every day or whatever, but as soon as you guys reconnect, it's like, hey, you don't skip that beat.
Yeah, it's like a pause and you unpause and just continue.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's just life. It's just life. You know, you're doing your thing, and you added another addition to your family, and us, we're doing our house stuff.
Yeah.
And
so just adulting.
Just adulting, man. Yo, this homework, man. Hey, teachers out there, you guys suck, dude. Like, homework that my kid does and too. And no, like my 7-year-old,
it's really her homework.
She has like a roll-on bag that she can't even like pull because that thing is so many books. You guys are ridiculous.
Oh my god!
Yeah, when she's carrying it, if she's walking across the field because she doesn't want to roll it, like she's like this. And as soon as I grab her, I take it off and then I carry it. But that thing weighs so much. Like I had to get a rolling book bag because originally when the school started, she had a regular book bag. The strap broke.
The strap broke and the bottom started ripping.
No, and it's funny too
because when I do the student drop off in the morning,
yeah,
the assistant principal is the one that opens the door to take them out of the car. She's like, "Man, this book bag's heavy." I'm like,
"You work here, lady."
Time out. Flag on the field, ma'am. Aren't you the teacher's boss?
No.
Maybe you should say something, lady.
Out there, you do what you do with that information, but you're gonna go ahead and take that heavy ass bag out of my car.
Yeah. She puts it in when I pick them up after school.
Yeah, but cool ass lady. She's cool. I like her.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Teachers, stop with the buffoonery of all these books, man. You're killing me.
Yeah, you sons of bitches.
I mean, they can just take out the paper, take out, like rip off the paper and have it loose, and like this is like what your homework for the day, and leave the book at in the desk.
Oh yeah, that would
be
so much better.
That would be helpful.
The year before did do that. This year, she got the book. The math book is that big. The reading book is that big, and
they have a book and a workbook.
No, they have the two books, math, reading, and then on top of her folders and workbooks. And
it's insane.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to that, adulting.
Adulting sucks. I really regret being a kid and being like, I can't wait to be an adult, because now that I'm here, I'm like, I want to be a kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Telling them the same.
I tell her all the time, the little one, because she says all the time, she goes, I can't wait to like be an adult. I was like, take it back.
Yeah, you better take that back, right? Meow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you gotta pay bills. You gotta.
Yeah, just everything.
Everything falls on you, man. It's
you don't know how good you have it until you don't.
Exactly.
You have a meal every single day. Like we do have home cooked meals, but we have to cook it. It's not like mama's in the kitchen taking care of it for you. Like it's different.
Absolutely.
Kids, you're out there. Enjoy your folks while you got them.
Yes.
For sure, dog. Well, I would say we can conclude on that and expect Jen and Mondo to definitely be back on this show. Shh, don't tell anybody.
Nope, I'm not gonna tell you.
But if you guys don't mind letting the two people that listen to this show know where they can find you and your show.
Yeah, so 305 Paranormal on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I just cross post on TikTok. I really don't be on TikTok. I'm always on Instagram, and I like to interact a lot on YouTube with comments and like shorts and stuff like that. And our Sunday show, live show, is we stream it on our YouTube. So that is 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we call that show Spooked Coast to Coast because of our co-host who lives in California. So like East Side with West Side, just getting together and having a good time.
Bring it back to the Tupac and Biggie days, Just...
I'm a big fan. So we're on right.
Well, I mean, with the with the topics you guys cover on your show too, like naming it Coast to Coast is Art Bell with the Coast to Coast radio show. So like it's all in the same vein too. So again, I really enjoy your guys' show. I love the fact that you decided to do it. Kudos to you. You guys are great. And I love you guys too. So
yeah, definitely have love for our work. No, and what's the other pose that he does that it cracks me up every time is the one with the yeah, that
exactly.
It cracks me up.
Oh man. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking out the show today. Thank you to 305 Paranormal, Jen and Mondo, for being on the show for like the 100th time. It's fantastic to be friends with them. They're great people. Definitely check out their show. They are again live every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. So make sure you check them out. So yeah, you better do it. But regardless, if you like today's show, you like any of my other shows, please like, follow, share, subscribe, leave a rating and review. That's a really good way to help the show grow. If your catcher doesn't allow you to leave a review, you can definitely do so on the website where the weird ones are podcast.com. That is also where you can get merch, hot sauce, coffee, and supplements. I also am posting blog posts, so I'm writing articles, I'm writing short stories. I just wrote a short story the other day, and I changed it. I had AI read it to me, so it's like a little audio book. So it's on there if you guys want to check that out. But other than that, you know what to do. I mean, you know the drill. Question everything and stay weird.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.
Because in the end, none of us have very long on this earth. Life is fleeting. And if you're ever distressed, cast your eyes to the summer sky, when the stars are strung across the velvety night, and when a shooting star streaks through the blackness, turning night into day. Make a wish.